What's up, gang? I was off work today and I was reading the book of Nehemiah, and the Lord kept highlighting a word to me. And it was the word spontaneous. Y'all remember the other day I brought y'all the word about access to Him, but today the Lord kept saying to me spontaneous. So guess what? I got a word for y'all today. Okay, so this word kind of really messed me up today because as I was reading, the Bible says, with little time to think, Nehemiah immediately prayed. And I thought to myself, wait, he didn't go to a quiet room. He didn't say, you know what, wait a minute, let me get myself together. Nehemiah prayed right there in the moment under pressure. So let me break this down for y'all. We always think prayer has to be in a quiet room with some music playing on our knees. But what I noticed as I was reading, Nehemiah said, no, I'm talking to God right now. In the middle of a conversation, in the middle of pressure, and in the middle of making a decision. Now that's spontaneous prayer. Okay, and as I was reading, here's the part that hit. I realized that Nehemiah could pray like that because he already had a relationship with God. Nehemiah wasn't just calling on God in emergencies. He was already connected. So when pressure came, prayer came out naturally. So in that moment, as I was reading Nehemiah, I realized why I kept hearing the word spontaneous. It's because if we only talk to God in emergencies, we won't know how to reach Him in the moment. So let me ask you a question. What do you do in a moment where you're about to make a decision that could change your life, but you're not sure if it's God or if it's your emotions? Or let me ask you this. You're in a moment where you feel disrespected and everything in you wants to react, but you know that one reaction is going to shift everything. Or what about a moment like this? You're smiling on the outside, but internally you're overwhelmed, you're tired, and you're low-key losing faith. Or a moment like this, and this has happened to me before. You're in a situation that looks good, but inside, in your spirit, everything feels off. In any of those moments, do you pause and pray, or do you just move? Because those quiet in between moments, that's where spontaneous prayer matters the most. Because I can guarantee some of the biggest mistakes that we made in our lives happens in moments we didn't pray through. And can I be real with y'all for a second? Some of us don't struggle with prayer. What we struggle with is depending on ourselves. We move first, we react first, we decide first, and then we ask God to come fix what we already chose. But in the book of Nehemiah, Nehemiah shows us something different. Even in the moments where he could have relied on his own words, his own confidence, his own plan, he paused and he went to God. Not later, not when it went wrong, right then. There's that word again, spontaneous. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but what if the thing that you're trying to figure out was never meant for you to figure out alone? Listen, God doesn't just want your long prayers in private. He wants access to your real-time decisions. Because one quick prayer, one open communication with God in the moment, in real time, could save you from a long time of regret. So I'm going to get out of here and let y'all go on about y'all day. But I want you to remember something. Stay so connected to God that prayer becomes your first response, not your last resort. All right. Love y'all. Bye.